This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at the Flight Theater for their presentation of Frankenstein, a new musical. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Ray Buffer. Sure. Well, I'm the director of the show, and I have laryngitis right now. I also play the creature, and I'm one of the producers and the founders of Art and Relation, which is the company to put this on. This is our second time doing this production. We did it 2 years ago in Long Beach, and we wanted to widen it up and open it up to a theater audience in Hollywood. So, but forgive my cracking. I'm a little poor in voice right now. Well, I play the creature. He begins the show as the condemned man, and once he becomes a corpse, Victor Frankenstein uses him to create the creature. So it's typically seen as Frankenstein's monster, the bad guy, but I think as you get reminded of Mary Shelley's original story, you learn that Victor is actually the villain of his own story, and coming to terms with that is basically the journey of this show. And as director, what I wanted to kind of convey was all of the people in this production are in purgatory. They've been killed because of Victor's actions, and they return kind of in an endless time loop to retell the tale of Victor Frankenstein again and again and again. And hopefully we convey that somehow.
What's your take on the monster?
Well, I think that he was an innocent man who was condemned and killed. He's a bit of a martyr, and I believe he's actually an innocent in all this. That's one reason I wanted his makeup to be a little more subtle than everyone else's, because I wanted to show that he's not the monster of the story.
So this man murdered 3 people and he's not a villain?
Well, he murdered 3 people because of the nature of him being a creation of Victor Frankenstein. I guess the opinion is it's the creator's fault for what he has done, and he owns up to it, but he also owns up to the fact that it's revenge, that that he was peacefully dead, and no one asked his permission to bring him back to life and turn him into this monstrosity. So his journey is basically one of discovering what it's like to be human again, and realizing that even though he wants to be human, he has no longer the ability to be human because he doesn't have control over his actions. He doesn't have control over his muscles, over his body. He's fueled by the hatred and revenge against Victor Frankenstein.
When I look back at the horror flicks, the actors were fantastic. Vincent Price was a fantastic stage actor. So was like Christopher Lee. I mean, that genre, it was almost like they were the ones who, with their voices, with their bodies, they didn't have CGI back then. So that acting was fantastic. What are your thoughts on that?
It's true. I mean, I think a role as complex as the creature requires a lot of voice acting, and I think that's probably why, after all the rehearsals we've had, that I have no voice right now going into our opening night. It's like my friend Jackson Mayo. It's the type of role where you really want to look for the opposites. You really want to not make him a stereotypical monster. You want to show the humanity. You want to show the emotion. You want to show depth, almost an exaggeration of what a human would feel, so that you're kind of making up for the physical layers, the added height, the makeup, the role as the quote-unquote bad guy. You want to show the flip side of that.
Once again, I loved your acting. I thought you were fantastic. The scene was actually very good. Your entire cast was fantastic. Yeah, and again, I really enjoyed myself tonight, and it's very appropriate for Halloween.
Cool. I appreciate that. I mean, we lucked into a group of wonderful professional actors, equity actors, as well as very professional, talented, non-union actors to make up this cast. I agree with you. Musically, they're dynamic. I wish I could have been dynamic with them tonight, but it was challenging tonight getting through the show because essentially I just had to emote and do stage whispers and scream as much as I could and test out my voice to see if I could even hold a pitch. And unfortunately for the audience tonight, I don't think I could hold a pitch, but I had some friends here and they reassured me that it didn't take away too much from the show. So I guess the creature doesn't have to be musically beautiful.
Well, I still think you did fine because it was the acting. I just thought you took it a different layer. It was more like, how Frankenstein was supposed to be mute. I mean, he did everything with his body and all that. I thought your acting was fantastic tonight.
Well, I really do appreciate that.
Once again, I really enjoyed myself tonight. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Jonas Sills. I am a performer, teacher, lover, and producer of music and theater now. With Art and Relation, this is our third year, and we moved down to Hollywood this year to do 2 shows. We did The Wild Party, which was really critically acclaimed, and now we just opened tonight Frankenstein, a new musical. I play Victor Frankenstein. Victor I can relate with a lot because he lost his mother at a young age. Although I didn't lose my mother that young, about 5 years ago I lost both my parents, and that kind of inspired me to start doing something to give back to the community and to the world with my life and start to do theater. So I definitely relate with a character who wants to bring back the dead, so to speak. Yeah.
Well, first of all, I thought the singing was fantastic today. I thought the musical was actually very appropriate for the time. It wasn't your average horror, what you see on TV about Frankenstein. It actually had a lot of depth to it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think a lot of people think Frankenstein, they're just but it's actually a beautiful story about a lot of tortured souls and everybody's trying to do well, and somehow though they're missing some of the point that maybe it's not for human beings to play God. I think that's the real moral of the story, so to speak.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen you, about a year or two. Actually.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, 2 years.
A little more 2 years.
Yeah, so how have things been? Do you find Hollywood different from say Long Beach? I mean, talent-wise or amenity-wise?
I don't know about different talent-wise. I mean, the talent's everywhere. I think there's a higher expectations in Hollywood, in LA, in a certain way. Although, I mean, there was good parts in both areas, and we really aim to do both. We aim to go back to Long Beach and do some more theater there, and also do some smaller theater here, because I really like the intimate theater. So I think that's the difference, is that you can't quite get a big house like we did in Long Beach the same way you can here, because everybody's fighting for those big houses here. So, yeah.
Once again, I thought you guys did fine. Basically, singing-wise, you were fantastic. I loved everyone singing. Acting-wise, again, very good acting. And otherwise, the story is very appropriate for the Halloween time, but also it's more than people think. It's actually a very good story that I really liked myself. Yeah. So once again, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you. And this story is probably the truest version to the actual Mary Shelley original, and I think that's it's fun to go back and read it after you've seen this. So. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you once again for being on the show.
Yeah, no problem.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Mallory Staley. I moved here from Wisconsin about 6 years ago, and I attended Cal State Fullerton. I got my BFA there in musical theater. I graduated in 2014. Since then, I've kind of just been working around the area, trying different things, and this is my first production with Art and Relation. I'm really excited. It's been a very fun and exciting journey. I played Justine Moritz, William's governess. It's kind of hard. It's a difficult character in that there's not a lot of development in the script. So I did some more research in terms of reading the book, and that was much more insightful. The Frankensteins took her in as a young girl, and they kind of raised her as part of the family. So even though she is not a member officially of the family and is a servant, there's something about that family to her that means something deep, and that's really what motivates her throughout the whole play. This idea of just family and staying connected, and William being almost like her own child, and staying connected connected to Elizabeth, like her sister, and so that's what I find is her core motivation.
Well, I thought you guys did fantastic, and I really loved your singing. I thought you were one of the best singers up there.
Oh, thank you so much. That's really rare. I'm a little bit insecure about my voice, so thank you for saying that. It's a good ego boost, I guess. But yeah, it was definitely a good show. I'm glad it came together. So yeah.
I thought it was a good story and a good cast. Anytime you get a good story and a good cast, it's a positive.
It's a win.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a win. So if some of my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Oh, they should expect to see something not usual in the theater. There's a lot of ensemble work, which I think is different. It's in a smaller venue than I think the play was originally conceived for, so there was a little bit of reworking and kind of creativity that went into it. But you will see some really stellar performers pouring their hearts and soul out onto the stage, and I think in the end we have a really good product. So. Yeah.
Once again, I really enjoyed myself. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with?
I'm Kaylee Hewitt. I grew up in Northern California, so about an hour north of San Francisco, and I did musical theater all my life, and then I went to Rider University, which is in New Jersey. Went there for 4 years, got great training, was right outside New York. It was awesome, but didn't quite fall in love with the East Coast like I thought, so I came back home, and then decided to make the plunge down here to LA, and I've been here for about 9 months, and I'm really enjoying it. I played Elizabeth. She's really interesting because, she's in this large, very rich, affluent family, right? Which is kind of the ward, so she's a part of the family, but she's also not. And she has this relationship with Victor of they've grown up their whole lives together. And so they're friends and they're playing around, but it's also been sort of always known they'd end up together. So it's that weird thing of we're friends, but we want more, but how do you balance that? How do you grow from just friendship to love, So it's very interesting to deal with those emotions.
I thought you guys did a very good job. I thought you were fantastic. I loved the way you were singing. You were wonderful.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this music is beautiful, and it's been really a fun journey to, learn how not only to, sing to the highest potential, but also add that emotion into it in the background. So it's been really, really awesome. Thank you.
So if some of you decide to come by and see this show, what should they expect to see?
They should expect to see, real excitement and energy. It is an intense show. It is a show that moves very quickly. So just be on the edge of your seat and be ready for a really entertaining, beautiful time.
Once again, I really enjoyed myself. I loved the singing. I thought the script was actually very good, closer to the book, and I really enjoyed myself. So thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Mark Oka. I was born in LA. I've been doing this for about 33 years. I just came back from doing The King and I in New York at the Lincoln Center, and I'm happy to be here. I played the blind man. I think he's just a loving man, loving humankind. Just the good in everyone. He doesn't see the world. I kind of see him like not worldly because he cannot see, but more of a spiritual plane. So everything is about positive love and all of that. So when he kills him, it makes it even that much more tragic.
So if some of you decide to come and see this show, what should they expect to see?
I think they should expect to hear a lot of great music, a lot of intrigue, and a lot of death, a lot of fun, and it's a great place to come for Halloween.
Once again, I enjoyed you guys. I enjoyed just singing. I love the story, actually. This is more closer to the book. So
yeah, very dramatic.
Yeah, different from the movie.
Well, great. Thank you for coming.
Thank you once again for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Justin Yu. I play Henry in the show. I'm from the Bay Area, but came down to LA for school and has been here ever since. So, been lucky enough to perform all over LA. I'm very excited to be doing the show. I play Henry, the best friend of Victor Frankenstein. I think Henry is that best friend that everybody has. He's always there. He's always trying to improve the situation, and he really does care about Victor. And he sees sort of Victor's path and his folly, and it's sort of the eyes of reason in the story. And it's great to see him really try to save Victor, and in doing so, basically sacrificing his own life.
If some of my viewers decide to come out and see this show, what should they expect to see?
I think they should expect to see, a fun, creepy Halloween show. I think it's a very topical show, has a lot of layers, and obviously is a classic. And I think that, the cast is really phenomenal, so they're in for a good time.
I actually think I once saw an article that you did in the on the internet. It was basically, you mentioned that it was actually kind of important that a person go to Broadway as soon as they can.
Yeah, I think theater is so important in our society, and especially with all the arts funding being cut all over the U.S. Theater really allows you to see another person's perspective, to step into another person's shoes. It's really such an important piece of the fabric of our culture, and it's the original form of storytelling. So the earlier that people can be exposed to theater and see it at that level, I think the better.
Well, as a performer, you feel that they should actually go. Well, I actually once interviewed an actor. He did like 100 movies. I asked him the same question: should a person go directly to Hollywood? He says, "Wow, that's a lot of competition." See, he lived in New York. It was like, and he basically said, "That's a really tough hoe to row." Maybe you should go to Chicago. Maybe you should go to San Diego, because going to New York, that is going to be tough. What do you think about that?
I think it is tough, but I think if you're meant to be doing it, and if you put in the work, you can only control what you're able to do. So I think, if you make the smart decision, and if you're ready, and if you put in the time, you put in the effort, you're never going to know unless you go. But I think, if you're smart about it, definitely be smart about it. I think a lot of people just kind of pack up and leave and go and go out to be a starving, artist. It is a tough industry, and it kind of comes with the territory, unfortunately, at least for now. But I think the reward, is totally, the risk is totally worth it if once you get the reward.
Well, once again, I really like the performance. Basically, I love it's a very appropriate story for Halloween. And also, I loved just seeing. Thought you guys did a fine job. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Great, thank you so much for coming.
Frankenstein, a new musical, will be playing at the Flight Theater from October 7th to the 30th. For more information, go to www.artinrelation.com.